in school, so my mate went to NYC camp to serve, and I could remember that I told myself, I said, okay, now I'm 1 year behind. So I started thinking, what can I do to catch up with my mate? So, because at times you need to know and find a way how you make up for the lost years. So then, I was talking about, I was set of 2000. That's what we call a class of 2000.
Yeah.
But with the strike and everything, my set, we've actually finished, I think, 2001.
Okay.
Then I had extra year between 2001 to 2002.
Yeah.
So I told myself, I said, okay, so I gave the year because around that time, the only thing I could think of to catch up with my mate is to travel out of the country.
Correct.
So I set this target for myself that, okay, I think that's what's going to happen. And that means I'm not talking about future thing. I'll say by the time they finish their service,
yes,
I will be in that level.
Correct.
So that is how I would say the hustle kind of started.
All right. So just before you get into that London, because that London part, my body's bubbling already.
Yeah.
Real quick, and I'm happy you mentioned about the setback back in uni, because social media these days and the facade we put out, everyone believes that it's all perfect. Like I said, when I read out your resume, someone might just look at you and say, you know what, this man has never had one before.
Yeah.
Back in Nigeria, where education is such a big deal, and then the day you've gone into uni, everyone is counting down to where you live. How did you, and I'm saying this we never know who's in that space right now. How did you mentally deal with that setback, even at that young age, before we go into the London story?
Yeah. So this is what happened. When I had this extra year, normally what people do is that you kind of maybe go away or hide somewhere, and then people just see you occasionally and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm a man that I believe in God and all that. So I don't read Bible to be a Christian. I look at it to become a man.
Correct.
So I remember that during that time I was a bit down, wanted to okay, what should I do and things like that. And then I remember that God told me something, which was one of the lessons and my principle in life.
Okay.
He said, do not run away from pressure. So I was like, okay, do not run away from pressure and all that. So he said, because pressure has a way of pushing out something that you carried on the inside. And when you run away from pressure, you deprive yourself of that opportunity of giving back to something that you are not even aware of.
Yeah.
So that was the principle I had on to that. When you feel like giving up or say, or you feel discouraged and say,
yes,
this is the pressure I'm telling you not to run away from. And because of that pressure, I wasn't interested in parties, this and that, and things like that. You're not even, free to do that in your mind. There's that kind of
restriction,
shame or stigma. And then some people are even kind of not disappointed, surprised. Like, really? This guy? So the way I dealt with it is accepting the fact that this is pressure, but there is something in it for me.
Okay.
And that was what helped me to be able to say, okay, you know what? Because within that time, that pressure, when everybody, I think there was a short strike or holiday that people were going on, I refused to leave school. And it was in that session, that period, that I read on my own without to pass for my CCNA exams and things like that. And right there, it was from Ogbomoso that I went straight to the embassy.
Okay, so now we are touching this embassy story, which is great, and thank you for, of course, sharing that, because we don't know who's going to be in that situation to say that a setback when everybody feels that you shouldn't be having that setback. And a lot of people deal with that. It shows up in the workplace. Someone gets promoted, you are not promoted, all of that kind of thing. So, sorry, guys, I'm okay. I'm very okay.
Don't worry. We have enough social distance.
I'm very okay. So here's where the story then, of course, begins. So now you get to the embassy, and finally you have the pathway into London. So tell me about that. Talk to me, sir.
So what I did then, from school at that point, so what I did was I started studying I look at things that could help me probably gain admission to uni here and all that. So I studied for the professional exam. I had good scores then and all that. Then I applied for school, which they gave me partial scholarship.
Okay.
So that was what I used to apply and get to the embassy. Then I got into the country, and I won't talk about how I was able to afford that, because one thing is that I didn't come from a very rich family.
Yeah.
So someone might say, oh, my parents helped me and things like that. So that wasn't the case. But anyway, I landed in Heathrow with £150.
Correct.
So that £150 was meant to pay for my transport.
Okay.
Accommodation, the remaining £4,000 school fees. So it was £150. So the £150 was actually a gift, And out of that £150, I bought train ticket from London Heathrow all the way down to Barking Station in East London. Barking and So I was fortunate. I had a friend who was here before me, so he was staying around that place. So he offered to accommodate me.
Correct.
So that is how I found myself in here. So I think, unfortunately, the school that gave me the admission then was Sheffield Hallam University.
Okay.
For the masters in IT. So when I got to London, I stayed a few days the following week. So I decided, let me go to Sheffield and look at it. When I got there, I never experienced code like that in my life. Even before I went to Sheffield, I think I got to UK on Friday. Okay. And it was on Saturday morning. My friend told me, he said, "Oh, do you mind to follow me to the post office? He wanted to make payment.
Okay.
At the post office." So I followed him, and he asked me to stay by the side, one side there at the post office. So he joined the queue, very long queue. So he was on the queue and all that. I was feeling this cold, like, oh God. If you've been to, I remember one crew that came and said, "Oh, what cold are you talking about? I grew up in Jos. This cold, I'm used to cold. This is not the cold like Jos or not we're talking about." Inside post office, full of people. When I started feeling this cold, then I remember what they used to tell us in primary school. When you are cold, they will say, do some exercise.
Yes.
Running on the spot and jogging on the spot. Inside post office, I started running on the spot, jogging. my friend that was on the queue, long queue, he was the next person, you know, in front.
Yeah.
When he looked back and saw the way I was jumping on the spot, everybody was looking at me. He left the queue. He just said, you know, just let's go home, you know. And and it was that feeling. I felt, you know, I had the same feeling when I got to Sheffield.
Okay.
Just to go and look at them. And then I told myself, I can't stay here. I asked people, you know, I remember I came with 150. Out of that, I bought train ticket and all that. So, and I see I had 4,000 pounds to balance. So I told myself, I had the student people, you know, they will have all these to onboard you. I said, how do I get work? They're like, you're not even asking about lecture, you're asking about work. I said, no, it's because I'm used to walking, so it can affect me mentally. So and they told me that, you know, things are a bit quiet then and things like so. I decided, you know, I couldn't stay here. So I deferred my admission. The same day, came back to London, and that is when the struggle started.
Correct. So,
and
talk us through this in bits and pieces. Yeah.
So, what was at that time, all you could do was no UK experience and all that. So you have to learn how to do things here.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody mentioned something. One of the guests you had last week also mentioned something about where you land.
Yes.
When you get you know, it's very important.
Yes. Oh my God, network. All right, I can hear you.
Not network. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So no. So anyway, I started working for agency that used to send me to this warehouse. You know,
okay.
People talk about doing care work and things like that. I never did care work, but it's not because I was fortunate. I was working in warehouse, cold room. You know, this warehouse that they handle this KFC chicken and all that. So inside where I was working is freezer. You know, and when you know me then, I was very, very slim. You know, so it won't take long for the cold to get to my bones. That's what I'm talking about. You know, and you see this cold room then, when you start work, within the first 30 minutes, you will have to go to the tap to put your hands under the hot water like every 5 minutes.
Wow.
Because your hands will be freezing every part. And that's because you're wearing special gloves and jacket over your jacket from home. So that is what I was doing then. And there was no chair in there, 8 hours shift. You have to walk around with trolleys. And, you know, we were handling all these milk that has to be in a chilled place, the chicken in the freezer, you know, everywhere. So that's what I was doing. But the thing is that when you know the reason why you're doing something, you don't feel bad about it. You know, many people at times, we just feel, oh, this is not me, everything. No, I knew what I was doing. So I was doing it with zeal, and because every hour I'm calculating, that one plus this one. You know, I was thinking about tuition fee and things like that. Anyway, then school, I did that to save money, and then school started. So that's how I got.
So I've got a quick question around that, because obviously you come into London with 1,500 million cobbles. So when we translate it into pounds, it's 150 pounds.
You're very correct.
Now, and then you start work and you're making money.
Yeah.
Was it a mental struggle for you to say that maybe I should just keep doing this and make money? Why do I want to go back to masters anyways?
Yeah.
So did you have to fight with that, or was that a very easy decision for you going back to your masters?
See, then there were a lot of people that were working there that is their normal job. They've been doing it for years. But I knew the reason I was doing that. So that is not an option. The option, the struggle then was, should I use the money to pay school fee or buy car and send it to Nigeria? Because at times, you know, we want to keep an image.
Absolutely.
Of within 2 months or 6 months, is already sending car home and things like that.
Yes.
You know, those people that used to do that now, they can't even buy a car now. And not anymore. You know, so staying and continuing wasn't an option because I was focused on going to school, and it was just a means to an end for me.
Okay. So now that you are in school, how did you manage? Because I'm guessing you were still working, because 150 is still far away from 4,000.
Yeah.
So how did you manage? How did you juggle that?
Okay. So what happened was that when I started, because I deferred my admission, I could work full time.
Yeah.
So now was the time school. Then I went back to my 20 hours, which was so I would go to school till my shift used to start 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I worked till 10 in the night. And then around Christmas time, I would do from around 11 Royal Mail till early in the morning. You know, there was a story about that as well, you know. So then I was in school. What I did was that I started reading more and ahead of the class. You know, and I'm a night person. People say I'm a morning person. I'm a night person. So I use most of my nighttime, you know, reading and studying. And one of the reasons was not, that's where I would say that I'm not an hustler, but situation can put you there.
Yes.
One of the reasons why is not just to pass and to, you know, another reason it was because I wanted to be getting contract to do assignment for other people. You have to survive, you know. So because